Hi, this is Frank, the Sober Guardian. So today I'm going to talk about what is a recovery coach and what is not a recovery coach. All right, so ideally, you want your recovery coach to have two things. One of which is to be certified. Now, there's a easy way to get certified. Just take a OASIS approved certification course. OASIS is the Office of Alcohol and Substance Abuse Services. This is a government agency that oversees, all of that stuff. And there is an organization called CCAR, which stands for Connecticut Community for Addiction Recovery, and they offer this course. It's an intensive course. They teach it. They're very strict on what they're teaching. They'll teach you how to be a recovery coach, what is a recovery coach, what not to do as a recovery coach, ethics, morals. They'll teach you about medicine and, the recovery process, medical assisted recovery, the mental health as well of people dealing with addiction. So it's very informative and it's very, very good. So ideally you want that. And then secondly, I personally recommend that the coach be someone who had severe addiction issues, and that today they're totally sober, totally clean, and recovering, and relatively very happy. Well, I don't know about very happy, but I'm a very, very happy recovering person. So, and to be happy in recovery, that means you put in the work, because one of the things about addiction is that it's very depressing and depressive and melancholy, and there's a lot of stuff going on with someone who has an addiction. If you're not well mentally, spiritually, and physically, then you can't really be happy. Happiness goes with things going well in your life, not just in your in your endeavors, but in your spirit, right? So that's the ideal. Anyway, but back to the recovery coach. So you want those two things in your recovery coach, or at least I highly suggest that you get that when you're looking for your recovery coach. So here are what the coach should provide you with. The coach should be a resource for you as the client. They should be very well informed with many things, very well versed. So this is a little bit difficult. Not everyone is well versed at stuff, but ideally the coach should be. So, if you want help getting off of drugs, if you want help with your family issues, if you want help with your finances, etc., your coach should be able to help you set those goals and what to do to meet those goals, right? And another thing that a coach should do is only make suggestions. The coach is not there to tell you what you need to do and what you have to do. That's the clinician side of it. Those are the counselors, the drug therapists, and that, right? Ideally, a coach should be someone who's like, your peer. Like, we're here. The coach isn't here and then you're here. No, we're both like this, right? So that's what it's about. And it is very effective. It's proving very effective to have recovery coaches in these different drug treatment centers, because it's the liaison between the client and the doctors. For some reason, the clients, the people dealing with the addictions, they can relate to their coach, because the coach has been through what they've been through. So that's why I say ideally you want a coach who's had issues with addiction, and so there's more empathy for the client. So that's it. That's it. So but these are very strict guidelines. Like I mentioned, they teach you all kinds of stuff, ethics. You have to take a course in mental health. You have to take a course in medicated assisted recovery. So it's definitely an intense course, and it does cover a lot of ground, and it's very helpful. So you can use your certification to do two things. There's two certifications for recovery coaches. One is where you can become your own boss. You get that certification, and the other one is so that you can work with organizations like whatever, Phoenix House, Daytop. There's so many of them, right? And they're able to work with you and bill Medicaid. You have to have 500 hours of in-house training with internship in one of these places. So I did that. I just never signed up for I never signed up for it, although I did all the hours and stuff. I'd rather just do my own thing right now. I don't really want to work today in a 9 to 5 type of environment. And it's the guidelines in that environment are so strict. You can't. I have a very vast knowledge of addiction, so much so that I wrote an essay, an article for someone, and about the nature of addiction, where it lies, how it begins, what fuels it, and exactly what I wrote. I ended up reading a few months later this article that came out of a Harvard medical journal, and it was like exactly what I wrote, except for one thing. And the only reason why they didn't get that is because they don't have firsthand experience, and I understand it profoundly. And that's my ability. I'm able to take certain things that I really enjoy and get to the bottom of it and figure it out. Like Einstein was good at theories, and sitting there till all hours of the night figuring out his theory. And some people are good at golf. Look at Tiger Woods. Like, remember Michael Jordan, or some great actress, like whatever her name is, who won so many awards, or some great dancer, singer, like Michael Jackson or Rihanna, or whatever the case is, or some great chess player. Everyone has their abilities, no one's better than no one. But, some people are going to do things better than me or than you because that's where their ability lies. So fortunately for me, my ability is in helping with recovery. I help myself a great deal, because recovery is a self-help thing, and I've had some good people around me who understood some things. And even if they didn't know what they were doing for me, I knew what was happening, and I was able to make, records of it in my mind, so that today I can really help people. I help some pretty affluent people, and I got some reviews on Google that if you type in the Sober Guardian on Google, I'll pop up my website and the reviews on Google that some people have left. And, it's pretty nice to read those things, but the point is that that's what it's about. It's about, helping people. And the better you are at understanding, and the more of a true pulse you have on what's really going on, the more effective you'll be as someone assisting people with their addiction problems. So that's basically what it is, the recovery coach thing. It's very prolific now. I mean, we've got Wendy Williams, talking about it on her show, having it in public that she has a recovery coach. But a recovery coach is not a sober companion, and vice versa. Anyone could be a sober companion. The idea there is to, watch over the person you're with, so just make sure that they don't go use drugs. And that's basically a sober companion. But the recovery coach thing, this is a little bit different. There should be some certification, and even with the certification, it doesn't guarantee anything. So I wish you well in your search for a recovery coach. Be happy to work with anyone. Actually, for me, nothing is too hard for me when it comes to dealing with people and their addictions and any of that, and their whatever they're dealing with. My technique is I uncover all the past and how it pertains to the person today. Why are they addicted? What caused them to get addicted? What things did they experience that ties into the way they behave, the way they act, the way they rationalize, the way they see life. All of these things have to do with recovery, because remember, addiction affects every part of your life, right? So what are we as human beings, right? So first and foremost, we are spirit beings, right? Whatever motivates my body, that's spirit, right? And then we are body, right? Our physical manifestation, right? And then we are here, mental, the mental part. And they're all tied in. So, you got to fix it all. You have to fix them all in order to have a complete recovery. So I feel very blessed to have a handle on each component. And I've had some amazing results with my clients. And I'm so happy to have assisted them, and for them to feel the way they do and to write things about me the way they do. And to know that that's exactly what I achieved. And through my severe pain of addiction and what I put myself through, today I can use it to benefit myself and others. So, there's a silver lining to every rain cloud. And, so I want to wish you well in your pursuit of recovery. You should know that anyone can do it. And you should know that, yeah, it's hard. it's hard, man, because if it wasn't, everyone would be okay. But it's very difficult. But I'm here to tell you that you are worth the fight. And you can get the help. And if you work with me, I'll teach you. I'll share with you the things that are so profound that, not even Harvard knows it right now, but I do. And I'm not taking any, listen, they do amazing work, but, you don't have to be a doctor to know things. Like, I love to think about Christopher Columbus, right? Here's the example. This guy was just a seafarer, right? He wasn't an astronomer. He wasn't, he didn't have, satellites in the sky. But this man, in the face of everyone telling him that the earth was flat, he was saying, no, you're all wrong. All of you. Can you imagine? All of them, from the queen to, all of his constituents, the doctors and all the smartest people around were like, you're going to fall off the face of the earth. And he was like, nah, man, the earth is round. And he staked his life on it, and he went out on those boats, right? We know this in history. But no one has ever told me why he knew. But I know. Because this brain, this mind that I've been given, it figures stuff out. It was very clear to me. I realized that he looked up at the moon, and he saw that round thing day after day, and said, And he was smart. He knew. He was a smart guy. He understood what Einstein was talking about years before Einstein even talked about it here. That everything is relative, right? So he was able to see that moon, that round thing in the sky, and be like, yeah. If I was over there, I'd be looking over here at a round thing over here. He saw it, round. See? And when you look at it that way, that's so easy. Well, yeah. Because that was the mind that he had. So when I uncover what I did, and Harvard hasn't yet, but I have. Oh, well, hey, I'm glad. Someone needed to figure it out. And I'm definitely I intend to make a video where I speak about the whole ball of wax when it comes to addiction. It's profound and it's deep. And with this knowledge, we can really chop it away. We can just get right in there and short circuit that addiction, just completely cut it and really get, without really destroying the person or putting people on all these drugs, trying to get them off. That's a better way, man. And anyway, so I want to thank you for listening and being a part of this video. Please, hit the like button. If you liked any part of it, hit the like button. If you wouldn't mind. And if you'd like to hear more stuff like this, and you care to, you just subscribe to the channel. And we'll be talking about addiction. I'm also going to be sharing about my favorite topic, which is God. And believe me, I respect everyone's opinion and feelings and beliefs. But, I know that I like to share it because, you never know who's going to say, hey, you know what, I like that. I'm also a holistic practitioner. I can help people with the most incredible issues that they have. Real quickly, I was mentored by the greatest holistic practitioner. This guy I've seen doctors all my life, and what the doctors couldn't help, this guy fixed like that. That's and he mentored me for 13 years. And now, since he passed, I can do what he has done. He left his legacy for me. And what I recently did for someone, and I've done a lot, but this one comes to mind. This girl was suffering with chronic dizziness. She went to doctors and they gave her stuff, and she poor girl, couldn't work, debilitated. So because of my, and intense knowledge of holistic stuff, I said, well, let's figure out where it is. And so I have this gift where I can figure out if it's in the brain or if it's in the ear. The middle ear is where the balance comes to. So it's in one of those two places. So it turns out that her brain was fine. And I'm not going to get into how I did that, but it's just what I can do. And it turns out that her left ear had the imbalance of the liquid, because within the ear canal there's a liquid, and it can be easily offset, with an infection. So I determined that it was there, and I knew of a supplement that could assist her. It's a natural supplement. It's called Spleen PMG by a company called Standard Process. And part of my ability is I'll know if that supplement or whatever the supplement is going to help or be detrimental. That's part of my gift. Sort of like the dog whisperer, that guy does amazing stuff. And we all figure out, how the hell did he figure that out? That's kind of like what happened to me. So I took the supplement. I said, no, I did what I did, what Dr. Walter taught me to do, and sure enough, my result was this supplement is going to fix everything. Within a month, she was telling me, Frank, I can't believe I don't feel dizzy anymore. And she spent many years with this feeling. And so that's another thing that I'll be talking about too, sporadically, talking about addiction, God, holistic stuff and things like that. All right. So anyway, once again, thank you. And I certainly do want to wish you all the blessings and all of your dreams come true, at least the good ones. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.